the BJP-led NDA has emerged as its largest alliance in the Lok Sabha elections, easily crossing the majority figure of 272, even as the Saffron Party fell short of its target of winning 370 seats on its own and more than 400 with its allies. The BJP, which was looking for a third consecutive term in office and its third straight single-party majority, won 240 seats, according to the Election Commission of India, putting the Saffron Party well ahead of the Congress, which has emerged as the largest opposition party. The Congress bagged 99 seats. The BJP, however, lost 63 seats from its 2019 tally, having won 282 in 2014 and, of course, 303 in 2019. Remember, the Congress party had, of course, won 55 seats in 2019 and that was 47 more seats than it won in 2014. And, of course, now the road ahead, of course, is pretty clear. And today, of course, is going to be a day of hectic meetings ahead for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Joining us live is Deshat Nigam, political analyst. We also have Chandni Preeti Shah, political analyst, joining us live. Professor D.K. Giri, political analyst, is also live with us. Dr. Sunny Dhiman, political analyst, also joins the broadcast. Let me make a start with you first, Chandni Preeti Shah, on what you make of this overall picture that has emerged of the way the country has voted. Chandni Preeti Shah, can you hear me? Okay, I think we are having some trouble there with the connection. Let me get in Deshat Nigam, who's also with us live. Deshat Nigam, today's meetings, of course, become very, very crucial. On one side, you have the NDA, which is going to go into a huddle. The NDA, of course, is the one that has triumphed in this election. On the other hand, the India Alliance is also going to be meeting today in the national capital.
Yes, certainly. I think the elections were primarily bipolar, with two groups contesting against each other. And finally, the NDA was able to, have the majority. Yes, the BJP fell short. The NDA partners probably held their own 50, 52, 53 seats, which they had the last time, and which the BJP has to introspect. Yes, BJP, it's a historic fact that the BJP after 1962, and any coalition or the party is coming to power for the third time, which itself is quite historic in the given circumstances, India being a very diverse country and the regional parties becoming very strong. And one very important thing I noticed in the speeches of Mr. Nadda and the Prime Minister Modi, that they focused on the positives and the task ahead that they have, and not talking much about the opposition, despite the fact that their seats went down, but their euphoria and the energy was intact, and they were focusing on the future, making India a developed country, which was already their focus, and they had already given the a plan, a vision for 2047, the next 25 years. So they were very clear and focusing on positives rather than talking about certain kind of things that have happened in the past and the kind of narratives that were being built in the elections. So it's a clear, signal from the Prime Minister, hard decisions and total eradication of corruption, which the process had already started in the past, which has to be concluded. And therefore, certain, issues which are there had to be sorted out. BJP has to introspect as to how they have lost 60 seats. But it's a party which can clearly, bounce back. It's already there in power. But so far as the seats are concerned, it is the capacity being a cadre-based party. And the timing of elections need to be, have to be readjusted, because it's such extreme heat that the people have to work. Also lowers the voting percentage, which actually has come down. So best times would be the pleasant weathers that we have. And it's like festival, and election should be like a festival. But in the extreme heat, we see people missing from the streets and that kind of, campaigning also. The voters also tend to get lethargic. Yes, the Election Commission has done a wonderful job with, world record of the number of voters which are there. And the poll officials, 1.5 crore poll officials, 50 lakh EVM machines, the paramilitary forces which worked on the ground along with the police, and so many, people who have contributed, and he especially thanked them. So I think in this elections, whatever may be the rhetoric in the elections from both the sides, the positives have to be taken into account. a coalition which is NDA, which is coming back to power, which will implement its policies and visions, which they have already outlined, thorough eradication of the corruption. And Prime Minister did admit that fight against corruption is becoming harder. And therefore, he does realize the impediments that will come while fighting corruptions. But I'm sure all the parties will work towards that end. The corrupt leaders need to be weeded out for the country.
Okay, let me get in Sunny
Dhiman. Leader of India.
Let me get in Sunny Dhiman, political analyst who's also joining us. Yes, I think Sunny Dhiman, you wanted to respond to Deshath Nigam, but also your overall assessment and interpretation of the results. What do you believe will be top of the minds of the two alliances when they meet today? The NDA will be going into huddle. The India Alliance will also be going into huddle later today.
Good morning, Uday, and I think you can also sense the little breeze which India was expecting for last 10 years. That breeze has arrived. I'm not saying it's rain, but it's breeze. And first of all, I would like to respond to Mr. Nigam that he said that the corruption has to be eradicated. So there has been a party of two, ruled by two, of two, for two. And this party has done enormous harm to Indian institutions. First of all, this election was not a normal election. Yeah, he was right that there was enormous heat, but this election was NDA and allies. And who were those allies? ED, CBI, and Godi media. I'm not saying you, but there is obviously Godi media and lots of influencers and the Voldemort cousin brothers, Adani, Ambani.
No, this is a very wrong. This is a very wrong term. To slander the media in this manner, I won't allow that.
I'm not saying you.
Whoever it is. Whoever it is. We are one fraternity. We are one industry. I don't like such terms being used for people in the media. The media has done its job very, very well. You can use these terms on other channels, please, not on our channel. Go ahead, Sunny.
And yellow journalism has been the. I'm not saying your channel.
Go ahead, Sunny. You can make your point without using such words or terms. But please go ahead.
Anyway, so this election was contested in very extreme conditions. The account of Congress party has been freezed. The two chief ministers were behind bar, and still we are able to cross around double digit. Congress party has crossed.
Well, you have crossed double digits. You haven't crossed 3 digits though.
No issue. The issue is now is the time where we have to understand that this India has rejected the governance model of Modi and Shah. It hasn't rejected BJP. So yes, they are there to form government, and we'll be happy to sit in the opposition. But the Prime Minister Modi will not be the Prime Minister Modi because the way he was running the country, he was a dictator. And now there's no more space for this dictator. And the special thing which nobody is witnessing, whether there will be India government or most likely NDA government, the rise of OBC politics will be there because Nitish Kumar has already said.
Let me quickly get in Professor Giri. Professor Giri is also with us. You made an interesting point, Professor D.K. Giri. Sunny Dhiman making an interesting point there that he still believes there is a scope for an India Alliance government. Do you believe that is a possibility, or is that pretty much ruled out after the NDA crossed the magic mark? Both alliances will be meeting today as well. What do you believe will be the top of the agenda?
Well, Indian politics is quite dynamic and very capable of bringing surprises. So I don't think we can rule anything out. But let me make one or two observations on the elections, like others did. That it is a very interesting election where everybody seems to be happy after the results. And then it was a multidimensional election, not a single issue. There was no polarization, no wave. So people voted as per their political equity and judgment. So that is one thing, one good thing. And this is like what one international journalist said, Indian election is the biggest exercise in human management. The largest democracy, huge democracy, it has been done well. So thanks to the people who run it. Now, your question, pointed question, whether India Alliance has the opportunity to form the government.
No, that's what Sunny Dhiman is saying, suggesting.
Sure. No, I mean, many people are saying it. And even Rahul Gandhi in his press conference said they will talk to Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar. on whose support the new government of NDA will hinge. So I would not rule out, honestly, I would not rule out anything. I can't predict anything, but that is also possible. And given the Indian political party culture, there is no loyalty to any alliance or party. Nitish Kumar has, done many times in and out of NDA. Like Chandrababu Naidu was also a convener of the opposition alliance. It is United Front, and so he has been in and out as well. Except Congress Party, everybody has worked with BJP, and others. So, nothing can be ruled out. We should all be ready for.
Mathematics though doesn't really. I don't think doesn't really allow that mathematics, because if you do the math, even if the JDU and the TDP were to join the India alliance, I don't think you still have the numbers to cross 272. You perhaps will need more parties. But Deshat Nigam, come in here. Mungiri Lal ke sapne of the opposition still, even after the national picture has emerged, or do you believe it's still a possibility and probability? You can also respond to the points that DK Giri and Sari Dhaiman have made.
The question is to me?
Yes.
Uday, let me tell you, opposition may think that it has a chance to form a government, but as you rightly pointed out, mathematics and the chemistry don't work. And therefore, to have, even if the JDU, which I doubt, or the Chandrababu Naidu's party, which also I doubt, are going to cross over to the Congress's side, because they contested the elections on the ground against each other. And therefore, that is not a possibility, and even mathematics is against it. And if you look at the scenario, Mr. Dhiman was very negative in its approach, despite the fact that the UPA, the new alliance that they call it, Indic Alliance, has done reasonably well, and we must focus on positives. You also focus on positives, and let the NDA also focus on positives. And therefore, the focus should be on developing the country, cooperating with each other. Yes, you critically analyze the policies. I think that's the job of the opposition, constructive opposition. If you find any shortcomings in the policies, you must criticize it and give an alternative vision, which was lacking earlier. Criticism without an alternative vision or solution is no criticism, it's a bald criticism. And I expect the Congress this time and their particular alliance to be very constructive in their approach in the parliament. Don't walk out of the parliament, give your suggestions, and let's see if your suggestions are incorporated in those laws or the policies which come inside the parliament, and through the voting in the parliament. If it is not included, please go along with it, because that's how parliamentary democracy functions, and that is what I am
respond to that
about it, that
Sunny Dhiman,
Prime Minister,
why so negative this morning? You'll have to unmute yourself, Sunny.
Yeah, I have to tell you again that I would like to respond again Mr. Nigam's statement when he said that India must get rid of the corruption. And the corruption, everybody knows that this electoral bond was the largest corruption in the world, not just in India, like Chanda do, Dhanda lo. And let the court function properly. And I say honestly that Prime Minister Modi, the now Prime Minister Modi, will be behind the bars, because the way he has conducted, if you give money to me,
there's no point
really
making
sorry.
there's no point making such outlandish statements. The election is over, the campaign is over, the rhetoric is over now. The point that Deshat Nigam is making, Sunny Dhiman, is that why not work now holistically? Why not be positive in our approach? Everyone has a role to play. The government has a role to play. The opposition has a role to play. Isn't it time now to work together for the cause of the country, to work together for a Viksit Bharat, to work together in this Amrit Kal period until 2047? Sunny Dhiman.
Yeah. So again, when I'm saying, don't cut me short, You have enough time to speak. It's your space only.
No.
But
I'm saying at the end of the day, of course, the election is over. The rhetoric is over. You could make all these points in the election. Now the people have spoken. Shouldn't we now look at positives?
Again, I'm saying this election, India Alliance contested against the odds, NDA plus the alliance, ED, CBI, and still we are able to control the BJP's juggernaut, less than 250. And now it is calling itself like NDA. And let me tell you one more thing, which nobody's talking. I really appreciate the way BJP BJP was a very strong opposition party when it was in opposition. And I really would love to see BJP as a very strong opposition party, because I don't see BJP working under Narendra Modi in an alliance, because the dictator cannot work with Nitish Kumar, the dictator cannot work with TDP, the dictator cannot work because everybody is not
Okay,
that this
so you're
dictator
saying that Narendra Modi will face a tough time dealing with allies in this term.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.